The story begins with a little boy named Vasily who went hunting with his grandfather in a cold region of Russia. Vasily's grandfather tied their horse's bait so that if any wild animal came to attack it, Vasily could shoot the animal with his sniper rifle. However, when a wolf appeared in front of them, Vasily got scared and missed his shot. The story then jumps to the present time, where Vasily has become a soldier in the Russian army. It was the year 1942, during the beginning of World War II. By this time, Hitler had already taken control of half of Europe. His next target was Russia, but to get there, he had to pass through a city called Stalingrad. Taking Stalingrad was not easy because the Russian Red Army was already defending the city. But at that moment, the Red Army didn't have enough soldiers. So many Russian soldiers were sent to Stalingrad by train to support the defense and push back the German forces. Vasily was one of those soldiers. As soon as they reached Stalingrad, all the soldiers were placed in boats to cross the river and enter the battlefield. But before they could make it across, a group of German planes attacked their boats. In the attack, many Russian boats sank and a large number of soldiers died. Fortunately, Vasily survived and somehow managed to reach the shore. But because of the attack, many of the Russian army's weapons were lost in the water. To deal with this, the senior officers divided the soldiers into pairs. One soldier in each pair was given a rifle, and the other was given the bullets for that rifle. Vasily received only a handful of bullets, while his partner got the rifle. If Vasily wanted a gun for himself, he had to kill a German soldier and take his weapon. As soon as the orders were given, the Russian army charged toward the German forces. The Germans quickly responded and began bombing the Russians heavily. Many Russian soldiers were killed in the attack, including Vasily's partner. Vasily tried to pick up his partner's rifle, but another soldier pushed him aside and grabbed the weapon first. Meanwhile, the Germans were overpowering the Russians, and many Russian soldiers began to run away to save their lives. But when these retreating soldiers returned, the senior Russian officers shot them on the spot for abandoning the battlefield. After several hours of fighting, the German soldiers finally captured Stalingrad. The entire city was now filled with the dead bodies of Russian soldiers. Meanwhile, a Russian vehicle was passing through Stalingrad when a German tank fired at it. Before the vehicle exploded, a Russian officer named Danilov managed to escape. He worked for the Russian army as a newspaper printer. Before the Germans could catch him, Danilov jumped out of the vehicle and hid among the bodies of dead Russian soldiers. When the German soldiers came searching for him, they fired bullets into the dead bodies around him. Luckily, none of the bullets hit Danilov, but the smell and sight of the corpses made him throw up. After the Germans left, Danilov slowly crawled forward. That's when he noticed a German officer who was heading to take a bath. Danilov quickly picked up a nearby gun and took aim at the officer. But just as he was about to shoot, a man suddenly rose from the pile of bodies. That man was none other than Vasily. Vasily told Danilov not to shoot yet. He said they should wait for a missile to explode so that the loud blast would hide the sound of the gunshot. But Danilov was too scared to fire the gun, so he handed the rifle to Vasily and asked him to kill the German officer instead. Vasily took the rifle and aimed at the officer. The moment a missile exploded nearby, Vasily fired and shot the German officer straight in the head. Because of the loud blast, no one heard the gunshot. When the next explosion happened, Vasily used the sound again to shoot another German soldier. However, this time a different German soldier saw him. That soldier quickly lay down and threw a grenade toward Vasily. But before the grenade could harm him, Vasily shot and killed that soldier too. Now the last remaining German soldier sensed that something was wrong and tried to run away. Vasily immediately stood up and shot him as well, killing him on the spot. After this, Vasily and Danilov went to the Russian army headquarters. There, Danilov wrote an article in the newspaper describing how Vasily had killed 4 German soldiers and 1 German commander. The scene then shifts to the Russian army commander, who looked extremely worried because for the past several months, the army's defenses had become very weak. The commander called a meeting and asked his senior officers to suggest a way to boost the army's morale so they could fight the Germans and take back Stalingrad. Danilov spoke up and said that if they wanted to win the war, they needed to give their soldiers hope. To do that, they needed a hero. Danilov told the commander about Vasily and suggested printing Vasily's story in the newspaper. This would inspire the Russian soldiers and encourage the young men of the country to become brave like Vasily. The commander liked the idea and approved it. Soon, Danilov published Vasily's story in the newspaper, and Vasily quickly became a national hero. Because of his growing reputation, Vasily was transferred to the sniper team. After joining the sniper unit, Vasily killed 33 German soldiers, 13 German commanders to resign from their positions. Days passed, and Vasily continued eliminating German officers one by one. One day during a mission, Vasily met a young boy named Sasha. Sasha was very happy to meet Vasily and took him to his home. Sasha's mother was also very happy to see Vasily and treated him with great respect. A little while later, Danilov also arrived at Sasha's house. He showed Vasily all the letters he had received from his fans. Just then, a girl named Tanya entered the house. Tanya was also a Russian soldier who helped protect civilians from German troops. The moment Danilov saw her, he liked her. But Tanya liked Vasily instead, and she had already heard many stories about Vasily's bravery. The scene then shifts to the new German commander. To stop Vasily, he hired one of the world's deadliest snipers, a man named Koenig. Koenig had already killed more than 100 targets in his career. He now accepted the mission to hunt down Vasily. Koenig immediately got to work, and by the end of the day, he had already killed 5 Russian soldiers. The next morning, Vasily's comrades informed him that they had spotted a German sniper in one of the city buildings. Hearing this, Vasily went there with one of his teammates to check. After searching for a while, Vasily finally spotted the sniper and shot him with a headshot. To confirm the kill, Vasily and his partner entered the building. But once inside, they realized the sniper was just a dummy. Before Vasily could understand what was happening, German planes attacked the building in which he and his partner were standing. Because of the explosions around them, Vasily's partner panicked and started running in fear. Vasily tried his best to calm him down, but it didn't work. The moment the soldier tried to run out of the building, the German sniper Koenig shot and killed him. After the attack, Vasily somehow made it back to headquarters and told Danilov everything. Danilov then explained that the sniper who attacked them was Koenig, and the German commander had hired him specifically to kill Vasily. The next day, Vasily and his team received information that a group of German soldiers was hiding inside an abandoned building in the city. Vasily took 2 soldiers with him to eliminate them, but as soon as they got close to the building, a few German soldiers opened fire with machine guns. Vasily and his teammates ran inside the building to save themselves, and luckily, all 3 survived. Vasily then went to the first floor of the building and started aiming at the German soldiers. During this time, he also cut the telephone lines so the Germans could not call for backup. Vasily knew that if the 3 of them stepped outside during the day, the German soldiers would definitely kill them. So the 3 decided to hide inside the building until evening. All 3 soldiers were very hungry, so they decided to eat something. But unfortunately, they had left their soup on the ground floor of the building. Without telling anyone, one of Vasily's teammates went downstairs to get the soup. The moment he stepped outside, a group of German soldiers captured him. Koenig then questioned the captured soldier about Vasily. When the soldier refused to say anything, Koenig forced him to wear a German uniform and sent him to fix the broken telephone line outside. A little later, Vasily's other teammate, called Kulikov, noticed a German soldier trying to repair the cut wire. But that soldier wasn't German at all. It was actually their captured friend who had gone out to bring the soup. This meant Koenig now knew the exact location of Vasily and his team. After waiting for several hours, Vasily and Kulikov decided to try a trick. They held a helmet outside the window to see if Koenig was nearby. If he shot at the helmet, they would know his position. But Koenig was smart. He understood their plan and didn't shoot. That made Vasily and Kulikov think Koenig wasn't around. The moment they jumped to another part of the building, Koenig fired and shot Kulikov, killing him instantly. Seeing Kulikov die in front of him broke Vasily's heart. Feeling defeated, he returned to the base with a heavy mind. Sadly, he told Danilov that he could not fight the German sniper anymore because Koenig was faster, smarter, and far more skilled. Danilov tried to encourage him. He told Vasily that they would soon discover Koenig's hiding place, and once they knew his location, killing him would not be difficult. Meanwhile, Koenig was reading a Russian newspaper that had stories about Vasily. Sasha was polishing Koenig's shoes. Sasha was actually a double agent who pretended to work for the Germans, but secretly passed all their information to the Russian army. Koenig handed him the newspaper and asked him to translate it into German. Sasha translated the article, which praised Vasily's bravery and his incredible sniper skills. During their conversation, Sasha casually mentioned that he had met Vasily several times and that Vasily often visited his house. Hearing this, Koenig tempted the boy with food and asked him to reveal the secret spot from where Vasily carried out his missions. To maintain Koenig's trust and continue acting as a spy, Sasha gave him the location, the place from where Vasily usually hunted German soldiers. As soon as Koenig received the information, he went straight to Vasily's hideout and set up an ambush. Meanwhile, Sasha rushed to Vasily and told him everything about Koenig's plan. After hearing the full story, Vasily headed toward the hideout. To trick Koenig, he began moving forward through a pipeline instead of taking the main path. Koenig was waiting near the main gate with his rifle aimed when suddenly he heard noises coming from the pipeline. Realizing someone was inside, he quickly changed his position and waited for whoever was inside to come out. The moment Vasily and his partner crawled out of the pipeline, Koenig fired at them. Vasily's partner was wounded, and Vasily dropped his rifle. Vasily managed to take cover just in time and told his injured partner to return to headquarters. Vasily then tied a rope to his knife and tried to pull his rifle back toward him, but Koenig fired another shot and cut the rope in two. Right then, German planes bombed the area. The explosions shattered the glass windows of nearby buildings, and sharp glass pieces fell all around Vasily. Koenig saw Vasily's reflection in one of the glass shards and silently took aim. He was ready to shoot the moment Vasily made even the slightest movement. Meanwhile, Vasily's injured partner finally reached headquarters and told Danilov and Tanya everything that had happened. As soon as Tanya heard this, she grabbed a gun and immediately ran to help Vasily. Tanya followed the pipeline and reached Vasily. As soon as she crawled out of the pipe, Vasily quickly shouted Koenig's location and told her to stay hidden behind the pipes. Vasily then came up with a plan. He asked Tanya to use a mirror to reflect light toward Koenig. Tanya did exactly that and flashed a piece of glass into Koenig's eyes. The bright light blinded Koenig for a few seconds. Taking advantage of the moment, Vasily grabbed his gun and shot Koenig in the hand. As soon as he was hit, Koenig escaped from there. Vasily and Tanya also returned to their headquarters. That evening, everyone celebrated their small victory. The other Russian soldiers praised Vasily for his perfect shot, which he fired within just a few seconds. After that, Vasily met Danilov and told him not to publish anything about him in the newspaper. Vasily said he didn't want to become a war hero, he only wanted to fight as a normal sniper. But Danilov replied that he would have to become a war hero because Vasily's stories were motivating many Russian soldiers. Then Danilov called Sasha. Sasha told Vasily that whenever he cleaned Koenig's shoes, he noticed yellow soil stuck on them, and this type of soil is usually found near chemical factories. Sasha then took Vasily to that chemical factory. There, Vasily hid among the dead bodies of Russian soldiers and waited for Koenig to arrive. Meanwhile, Vasily fell asleep, and while he was in a deep sleep, Koenig passed right in front of him. At the same time, we see a German soldier stealing wallets from the pockets of dead Russian soldiers. While checking bodies, his hand touched Vasily. He thought Vasily was dead too and took Vasily's wallet from his pocket. Vasily continued pretending to be dead because even a slight movement could have gotten him killed. The German soldier then went to his commander and showed him Vasily's ID card. After looking at the ID card, the commander was convinced that Vasily was dead. He called Koenig and told him to pack his things. On the other side, when the Russian commander received the news of Vasily's death, he was completely shocked. He immediately called Danilov and ordered him to hide this news because if the Russian soldiers found out that their hero had been killed by a German sniper, their morale would completely break. Danilov then went to Tanya and told her about Vasily's death. At first, Tanya didn't believe it, but when she heard the same news on the German radio, her heart sank. Meanwhile, Koenig was getting his shoes cleaned by Sasha. Tears were in Sasha's eyes because he was deeply hurt by the news of Vasily's death. Seeing this, Koenig became suspicious and wondered why a German spy would be so sad about a Russian sniper's death. Koenig quietly told him, "Vasily is still alive because I haven't killed him yet." To test Sasha's loyalty, Koenig told him that he had found a perfect spot near the railway station from where he could see the entire Stalingrad area. He said that the next morning he would go there and try to find Vasily. Sasha immediately ran to Danilov and told him everything about Koenig's new hiding place. As soon as Tanya heard this news, she rushed toward the station because she wanted to kill Koenig and take revenge for Vasily's death. A little while later, Vasily returned to the headquarters and everyone was shocked to see him alive. When Vasily found out that Tanya had gone to the station to kill Koenig, he ran after her to save her life. On the other side, Koenig was hiding and waiting for Vasily. Suddenly, he noticed someone crawling forward with a sniper rifle on their back. Koenig assumed it was Vasily and waited for that person to step out completely. But that person wasn't Vasily, it was Tanya. Just before Tanya stepped out into the open, Vasily arrived at the last moment and pulled her back. Seeing Vasily alive, Tanya was overjoyed. In that emotional moment, Tanya confessed her love for him. After this, the two of them kissed each other. The next morning, Sasha went to the station to meet Vasily, but Koenig was already waiting for him. By now, Koenig had figured out that Sasha was a double agent who had betrayed the Germans. So Koenig killed Sasha and hung his body in the middle of the city. When Tanya saw Sasha's dead body, she became furious and grabbed her gun to kill Koenig. But Vasily stopped her and promised that he would kill Koenig himself and take revenge for Sasha. Soon after, German soldiers launched a major attack on Stalingrad, and chaos spread everywhere. Seeing this, Tanya rushed to Sasha's mother to help her escape the city by boat. Tanya lied to Sasha's mother, telling her that Sasha had betrayed Russia and joined the Germans so that she wouldn't feel the pain of knowing he died horribly. As Tanya and the others ran toward the boat, a German missile landed right next to her, and she was severely injured. A doctor examined her and said there was no chance she could survive. Hearing this, Danilov was heartbroken because he deeply loved Tanya and blamed himself for her death. After this, Danilov went to Vasily and told him about Tanya's death. Hearing the news, Vasily was devastated and tears filled his eyes. To find Koenig's exact location, Danilov deliberately exposed himself. The moment Koenig saw him, he shot Danilov. Koenig believed he had finally killed Vasily, so he stayed hidden for several hours to be sure. When he saw no movement for a long time, he decided to come closer and confirm the kill. But as soon as Koenig crossed the railway tracks, he spotted Vasily aiming a rifle directly at him. At that moment, Koenig accepted his defeat. He removed his cap to show respect to Vasily. Without wasting a second, Vasily fired and gave Koenig a clean headshot. Then he placed Koenig's rifle beside Danilov's body as a gesture of honor. 2 months later, the Russian army pushed the Germans back and reclaimed Stalingrad. A few days after the battle, Vasily received a letter from Tanya. In the letter, she wrote that she had been admitted to a hospital and was now recovering well. Vasily immediately went to meet her, and seeing her alive brought him immense relief and joy.